Hi guys, welcome to Happy Visas. Today I'm going to be speaking about the general visit visa, what supporting documents you need. Now there is many subcategories of the general visit visa. For example, you've got the tourist visa, you've got the business visa, you've got the marriage visitor visa. So I'm going to be speaking about the most popular visa, what documents you need and why the entry clearance officer needs to see them. So obviously the most important document is your employment letter and your bank statements. They want to see that you're employed, they want to see that you've got what your income is, and also they want to see that your employer sends your salary, your wages, whatever you want to call them, to your personal bank statements. That confirms that that you're actually getting paid by the employer. That's what they want to see. If you're at university letter, sponsor letter from the parents, and their employment letter, their bank statements. Another important document is property document. They want to see where you live. Let's say you're in Russia or India or Pakistan. They want to see where you live. They want to see that you have strong reasons and strong ties to your home country to return. And obviously a property document shows you've got a place to live in your home country. If you've had travel history before, had a Schengen visa, if you've been to America or Australia, show them visas. Try to upload them yourself whenever possible. Don't rely on the visa centre. They're normally pretty good, but they do make mistakes. So try to upload all the documents yourself. Then you know at the end of the application form, when you upload everything, you know it's been done. If you're married, husband's, wife's marriage certificate with their details, children, if you've got children, birth certificate. If they're not traveling, great. That shows, that you're going to return home. It shows that you're going to go back to your home country. Better to explain why they're not traveling, because that might raise suspicion as well. It's great for family ties, it's great to return home, but it might raise an eyebrow. Why are you going alone? Why are you not traveling with your husband or wife or children? So show the marriage certificates, the birth certificates, and remember, everything must come with certified translation if it's not in English. So they're quite important documents. Now, if you've never travelled before, then I would start showing car documents. I'd start to show photographs of your dog or your cat. I would start to show other reasons for strong ties because you've got no travel history. You've never travelled before. Try to think out of the box. What other documents could you give the entry clearance officers to show you've got strong ties to Russia? Now, again, on the tourist visa, if you've got friends or family, show the relationship, show how you've met. So you've got friends and family in the UK, show the relationship and get them to give you an invitation letter, a copy of their right to be in the UK. So if they're British, copy of the British passport, a copy of the visa, and proof of address like a council tax bill. These are all important documents that you must explain how you know these people or how you relate. So it might have been a long lost friend you haven't seen for years, went to university with them. Let him explain that in his invitation letter. I invite my friend, we used to go to university together, I'm inviting him. Now remember, if they're not a close relative, they cannot offer financial support. As a rule of thumb, normally your grandparents could, normally your parents could, maybe a sibling could offer sponsorship, but it has to be a close family member. In the UK, all they could offer you, if it's a friend or a distant relative like an aunt or an uncle, all they could offer is accommodation. They couldn't, they could put on the invitation letter, you've got funds to support yourself, but in events of emergency, they will also help you as well. You could put that, that's what I normally do, just in case of an emergency. Although you've got funds to support yourself, I can also help. I often put that in, in the invitation letter. So you've got you've got your own income, or you've got the sponsor letter from your parents, but you've also got the added value of who's inviting you, saying that they can, in the event of emergency, although they cannot be the primary sponsor, they have to be the second sponsor. These are important documents. Now, if you're going to the UK on business, not only do you need an employment letter, you need a letter why your employer is sending you to the UK. Why are they sending you to the UK? And you also need an invitation letter from the company that is inviting you, explaining what the meetings will be about, what is the reason for the visit. They need to explain that, how, what cooperation they've done with your company, how long they've known your company where you work, your employer. Why do they need to invite you for business? So you have to show the strong relationship. It's very, very important that you do that. Your employer can pay for your trip. They can put in the letter, we're paying for flights, we're paying for hotel, so you can reduce the amount that you need to show on your personal bank statements, but you should still supply personal bank statements. It's not, even though you've got the sponsor letter from your employer, I would still show that. Also provide, in Russia, they call 2 NDFL tax statements. In England, it's called a P60. Supply your tax statements for both visas, for tourists or for business visas. Supply them. Very, very important. Supply a website, put in the additional information to learn more about my company. Please see our website. That again gives credibility, helps out. Now, let's say you're getting married and you're applying for a married visitor visa. If your partner lives in England, they're not going to be too happy to give you a visit visa. They're going to be looking for you to apply for the more expensive fiancé visa. It's quite expensive. It's about £1,560, and it gives you 6 months to get married. They're not going to give you a marriage visitor in all instances. Now, let's say your boyfriend is English and you both lived in India together. That's grounds for a marriage visitor, because you're going to go to England and you're both going to return back to India. Or let's say you are two Russian people or two Indian people and you want a romantic marriage in a castle in Scotland. That's fine for a marriage visitor. You could also apply for that reason as well. You want a romantic marriage or wedding in the United Kingdom, Scotland, wherever, then you could do that. But just to recap, if your fiance is in England, they might not give you the visa. They might want to you to apply for the fiance visa because you're getting married. You're meant to be living together after that marriage. You're not meant to be returning home to your country. And the problem with the marriage visit visa, you cannot switch. You cannot arrive in the UK and switch to the family visa. It's not allowed. So that's the problem that you have there. So now, if you've got any questions, if you've got any adverse immigration history, if you need any advice, put a message in the bottom. I'll happily answer all your questions. Drop me a line in the chat. Please like, please subscribe. I hope you found this video very informative. Thank you guys.